What's up, strongest men, women, and children from blocks all around the world? I am my block's strongest man, and tonight I have a very special guest for you, founder of Garage Gym Life Media, John Greaves III.
Now, homie.
Welcome back to My Block's Strongest Man, where we bring strongman into the mainstream by discussing all of the latest strongman events in the greatest analytic detail that you'll find anywhere on YouTube. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe to this channel. Make sure to comment below whether you agree or disagree with my videos. I love the engagement, and I respond to every single comment. Now on to today's topic. Now, if my research is right, you're a Marine, is that right?
I am.
So how did you first cross paths with the military, and kind of what are your best memories?
Man, so it's funny, but I have been blessed to have accomplished just about everything that I've ever said I wanted to do, that I really wanted to do. When I was a little kid, I told you that the military in Liberia took over the government when I was actually 6 because I turned 7 that year, but it happened on April 12th. And I just remember seeing how much respect, and it wasn't really respect, it was fear, because, you know, these soldiers, you know, they got guns and you don't. And I just remember seeing how people kind of like back down to these people, right? And like I said, I was a small person, and I also was an only child. I grew up as an only child. I had a half sister, but she did not live with us. So just something about the belonging and the respect that I saw these people in the Liberian military get kind of made me say, man, I'm going to be a soldier one day, right? I know what a Marine was. Well, then fast forward several decades actually, and I went to live with my dad in California, and he had just done a documentary on the Marine Corps recruit depot in San Diego. And so I learned a little bit more about the Marine Corps. And then when I was out of college already, and I remember I was just kind of drifting along because my plan was to be a reporter. And after I did an internship over the summer with the local newspaper, I just decided I didn't want to do it because it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth because I did a couple of stories involving local politics, and it just soured me on it. And I didn't. So I was kind of like working at this public gym, like I told you, and drifting along with no real plan. So I said, well, I want to join the military, kind of like give myself 3 months. It's funny. You join the military for 3 months because I was like, I need to get away from my normal life to kind of just refocus, right? Get rid of all the distractions. I already had a little boy at the time, so I had to get out of wedlock. And I'm like, what am I doing with my life? So I joined the Marine Corps, and it was honestly because I went in there with a clear plan, like I'm going in here with goals to accomplish. It was a very positive experience for me, even boot camp, even though everybody's like, this is the hardest boot camp. I went to Marine Corps boot camp unable to swim. When I got off the bus, I couldn't swim. You got to be able to swim to get out of Parris Island. So I learned to swim at the testing day.
Wow.
Right. Yeah, that's and I do it in the unorthodox way. So that's one of my best memories. Is like, I remember they're teaching me how to float and everything else. I actually learned the blouse inflation. I did all the stuff. I said, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. Because they teach you, you know, it's like, if you pay attention, you will succeed. If you pay attention and obey, you will succeed. And that's actually something that has carried through with me. It's like, if you just follow the steps, it doesn't matter how daunting the task is. If you just do what you're supposed to do, you can accomplish things you never thought you could. And I remember, I'm not afraid of heights. So I remember the 12-foot tower. 10-foot tower. Most people are afraid of it because it's like you 10 foot in the air and then you jump off this diving board into the water. And what I cared about was the water. So I was just like, when I get in the water, what do I do? Then they said, well, you just got to dive in, or not dive, but you got to jump in and then go to the side. I said, so basically you don't care how I get to the side as long as I jump in the water. They're like, yeah, okay. So it's like one of the things, like they literally have you. It's funny because these guys who are afraid of heights, they suffer because you standing there, you're in line, right? And so the guy, and they'll literally say, ready, step. So when they say ready, step, you take one step forward. And if you're the last guy and you step forward, you're going to go off and go down, right? So ready, step, ready, step, ready, step. And it's my turn. And I already asked my question. I was ready. They said, ready, step. I jumped off that thing, and I actually jumped up in the air because I wanted momentum. I come down, I hit the water, go down. Remember, I couldn't. They hadn't taught me to swim yet, so when I hit the water, hit the bottom of the pool because I wanted this on purpose. I said I need momentum. I hit the bottom of the pool, and then I basically did a jump squat at an angle. All right? At an angle. So I jumped out because I know I can jump. If I have enough momentum, I'll rebound up and I'll come out of the water. Then I'm going to go back down and sink. So that first jump has got to be perfect. So I jumped at an angle, came up and grabbed the side of the pool. Like, hey, I passed.
Hey, man, 10 points for creativity.
Hey, I made it. Pulled myself out. Next. This ain't so bad. So that's one memory that I have that's really good. Another one, this is kind of surreal. We were in Fallujah, and I remember just being like, I guess Fallujah is dangerous. It's still dangerous. But at the time, this is like we had just taken the city of Fallujah in Iraq War. And so Fallujah is a dangerous place. And everything you saw in the news was, and in Fallujah, people get killed. And in Fallujah, people got murdered. And in Fallujah, a car bomb. And we're going on patrol. It's 2 a.m. I'm walking down the street at 2 a.m. in Fallujah. And it was just a surreal feeling to be doing that, right? I've got some fond memories from working out in Iraq. So everywhere Marines go, if they're going to be there for a while, they figure out a way to work out. Sometimes it is by liberating locally available equipment that the owner may or may not approve of you having. But hey, as long as you don't know and you return it, hey, all right. Sometimes it's like, I have climbed over fences to get into gyms. I say, I'm going out for a run. And I run, and then I climb over the fence, get in the gym, work out, climb back over the fence, and run back. And in this situation, we were on our cannon position. I was in an artillery unit. So our cannon position had a pull-up bar. We had dip station, but we didn't have any weights. So I'm looking around, we had sandbags that we used for hardening the bunker. And that's not really, so I was doing sandbag training before it was cool. But I was like, man, this isn't enough. I need some dumbbells. So there was this Iraqi guy who just was like the local, if you need it, he can get it guy.
Yeah.
And so I said, hey, man, I need some dumbbells. And he said, what are those? So I described it, literally drew what I needed in the dirt. He spoke English fine. Drew what I needed in the dirt. And I said, I need that. He looked at me, and I think he said $100. I said, okay. I gave him the money, and he came back 3 days later. I don't know where he got these dumbbells from, but they were adjustable dumbbells, and he brought them back. And those are my dumbbells. And when we left Iraq, I left them there, and that was that. So that's another memory I have. Like in fact, I don't know if you can see this, man. Hang on. Hope I'm not ruining your video, but
no, man, it's all good.
So can you see this?
Yes.
All right. So that is, hold on. Let's see if I go that way. Yeah, there you go. All right.
There you go.
So if that right there is me in Iraq in an underground bunker, bench pressing with those dumbbells.
Wow.
And what I'm using as a bench are sandbags.
That's sweet.
All right. This is my second home gym. It's a shed gym. Obviously it's in a shed. And that was me. I was about 180 pounds. Had a gravel floor. And I had basically one of those it's like one of those old weeder bench things.
Yeah.
Like they use to pump out. Yeah, I had one of those. Had some cast off infomercial garbage that people got. And, and they said, oh, you want that? Sure, here you go. And they just gave it to me. And I would take that stuff to play it against sports. And, and trade it in. That's actually how I started going to, we have a video on my channel about where I go and I do a tour of Play It Against Sports. That's how I started going to Play It Against Sports, because people were giving me all their random garbage, and and I would take it and trade it in for something I did want. And that's how that started.
That's cool. All right. So far we've talked martial arts, we've talked military. How did you first come across strongman? That should be an interesting story. What first brought you there, and how long have you been involved?
Well, strongman, honestly, I first saw it because of World's Strongest Man on TV. Like I said, I've been a home gym owner for 20 years. So you're always looking for stuff to put on to watch. And at the time, ESPN had strongman on television. So I would be working out. After that gym that was in the shed, we moved to my wife and I met my wife, and we moved to a house that had a single car garage. And so I was working out in the garage. And so the TV was like right there. So I would watch ESPN World's Strongest Man stuff. CrossFit Games started in like 2007. So around that time, I started watching that stuff in the background too. But anyway, so as far as strongman goes, that's how I discovered it. And I'm a fan of Franco Columbu because I discovered him in Pumping Iron. And then I found out that he actually did strongman competitions. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. Because, you see him in Pumping Iron picking up a car and moving it. Right. And so I was like, oh, this dude's really cool. He's really strong. He's doing old time strongman feats like blowing up the water bottle till it blows up and pops. And so that got my attention. And then my brother, well, he's my best friend, but I've known him for so long. He's like my brother. He calls my parents dad and mom and all that, right? So he was actually, when I met him, he's into bodybuilding. But I was like, dude, like with your kind of like build, you're designed for strongman. Even though at the time, most people who do strongman are really tall, and he's 5'8". But that's just like, dude, I'm just telling you that's your thing. Like, because one of my gifts is recognizing, like, I can tell some of it is from being in the Marines, but a lot of it is just how, everybody's got something they're good at. And one thing I'm good at is recognizing what other people are good at. It's not like I can look at you and say, hey, I'll bet you could put together a satellite dish. It's not like that. It's more like if I see you do a thing, then I can tell if that's your thing or not. Even if you're not good at it right now, I'm like, oh, but you know what? That's your thing. You just may need practice or whatever. So based upon the things, he was very explosive. He's very strong, had a lot of muscle endurance. And I was just like, man, you need to get into strongman. And he was like, I don't know about all that. Well, then he ended up, we went on a road trip to take my son to Maryland for something. And while we're up there, we went and watched the Maryland Legendaries Strongest Man in Maryland, in Rockville, Maryland. And he was hooked. That's actually where I met Johnny Waz, who owns Big Dog Strong. And we were talking about, his equipment and all that kind of stuff. And anyway, so my brother was like, man, I really want to do strongman. So he started doing strongman stuff. And so I got into it because of the fact that he was doing it. I watched him do his competitions. We were blessed to be able to cover him at the Central Georgia Strongest Man. We didn't live stream it, but we went and kind of did like a mini documentary. It's still on our YouTube channel. We did like a mini documentary showing him competing there. We went to he went to Masters. This was the first time I had an experience with Strongman Corporation. He qualified for Masters Nationals in Vegas. So we went to Vegas and I did a little mini documentary on him about his journey to Vegas and his competition and everything else. That's where I met David Waters and everything else. So I started to become more and more embedded in the sport of strongman. And then Greg and Nicole Fields with the United States Strongman Georgia invited me because they knew who I was because I had done the documentary for the Central Georgia Strongest Man when Brian was there. They asked if I could live stream. And I said, sure. And so that was one of our early live streams. I was like, thanks for the opportunity. So we go down there, set up this farmer's market, and we live streamed the Central Georgia Strongest Man. And that was really, really, we live streamed it on Facebook. So I wish I had done it on YouTube, but at the time we were trying to figure out which platform we were going to stream on and everything else. And
what year was that?
2018.
Okay.
Because we came back from the Arnold. It was the same month as the Arnold. So, in fact, we're going to be doing it again. I'll get into that more later.
Yeah.
We'll be doing it again in March. Sure. And it's always near the end of March. So it was March something 2018. And we live streamed it, like I said, on Facebook. And it was really, really a good time. I had a ball doing it.
Nice. It's interesting how you say you can tell what people are good at. You know what I'm good at?
What?
Watch how I compliment us both. Choosing great interviewees.
You actually, I do know what you're good at, to be honest with you.
What's that?
It's that you have an ability to break down the sports that you're interested in a way that makes it accessible to the viewer. So you can explain why this person, why I should be. You can make me excited about watching someone compete in something, even if I didn't know anything about the sport. You have the ability to kind of like break down what's important about that person, what's significant about what they're trying to do. And you have the ability to let them talk.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Let them tell their story. So, yeah, you're a very good interviewer. And I think you actually, really, that's why I wanted you. I was hoping you were going to be at the Mammoth because I was going to call on you to do color commentary with me because I really respect your ability to research people and and do what I just said. Like anybody can tell you about somebody, but you have the ability to make that person's story matter to the viewer.
Yeah, I hope maybe the world situation's a little calmed down next year. We'll do it for sure if you'll still have me.
Man, I'll put you in one of those little suit. You look like a beekeeper. You look like a beekeeper, and I'll have you there anyway.
Nice. Hey, I'll still give great analysis. Don't worry.
That's right.
Usually kind of the way I wrap these up, and what I want to do now is you touched upon a couple of events, exciting stuff you have coming up in the near future. Why don't you talk a little bit about, take a few minutes to promote, all the great things you have coming up, and how people can follow them and follow you and just kind of promote everything you have going on.
Okay, cool. So I appreciate that. So first thing we have is this month, as we're recording this is February. So this is February 4th. So the next thing we have coming up as far as live streams is the USPA Drug Tester Winter Classic, and that's coming out February 27th. That's going to start at 9 a.m. And if you just go to Garage Gym Life Media YouTube channel, there's the link to subscribe to it. Actually, when you go to our homepage on YouTube, you'll see across the thing, it'll say all of our upcoming live streams. And so you can just say, oh, this is, whatever. And you just subscribe and make sure you click the bell for notifications, and it will tell you, YouTube will send you a notification when we start our streams. So you've got the USPA Drug Tester Winter Classic. That's February 27th.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about a lot of great stuff tonight. This has been an awesome conversation, John. I'm so happy you were able to come on. Anything else you wanted to mention before we wrap it up?
Just we're also revamping our blog. We're starting to pump out content there. So every Wednesday you're going to get not only an article that's going to help you with your training, but also you're going to get stuff. We're trying to put out things, just letting people know what what's in stock, because I know people are still trying to get equipment. So what's in stock that we know about that's out there. We get also like some cool product that's kind of caught our eye. Like, oh yeah, look at this thing. This is kind of cool. So like stuff like that. So that's every Wednesday. You want to check out GarageGymLifeMedia.com, and we're going to create a way for you to subscribe for free, and you'll get a notification. You'll get like a little newsletter, and it'll say, hey, like this is what is coming, what we have for you on the blog. But all in all, just, subscribe to our YouTube channel. The reason for that, honestly, is it just helps us live stream more. And the reason why, in a nutshell, is because when I approach an advertiser to help cover help me cover the cost of paying my people to go do a live stream, the first thing they look at is how many subscribers I have on YouTube, because they want to know if they should take me seriously or if I'm just some dude, with a cell phone trying to live stream stuff with my phone. And the more subscribers I have, the more legitimacy it gives me in the eyes of an advertiser, right?
Absolutely.
And so that just helps a lot. And honestly, I think that the content that we have on there, as I said, it's like ESPN for home gyms. And I think that if you go in our channel, I think it really is worth your while, because we're tailoring content to you in a way that's never been done for home gym owners before.
All right. That's a great message, one that I'm happy to keep spreading on your behalf. And again, it was awesome to have you on. Maybe after some of these events, we catch up again sometime, and definitely hit me up for that collab on Central Georgia.
Yes, indeed. We definitely will do it. I'll give you a shout in a couple of weeks. And actually, I'll give you a shout in a couple of weeks, and we can hash out something. All
right. Well, thanks again, man. Have a great evening, and we'll talk again soon.
Ciao, homie.
Ciao, homie. So if you like this video and haven't done so yet, please consider subscribing using that button right there. And also stay tuned for some other videos that you might love blooping up right there. This one is the one that YouTube thinks that you will like the best, and this one is the one that I think you will like the best. As always, share this with everyone, and until next time, ciao, homie.